going to get started. This would be our first legislative meeting, January the 8th of the new year, 2026. And I welcome everyone who's here and everyone who's listening. And we always start our meeting with a silent prayer and pledge of allegiance. If you could please take a moment. Amen. Let's see, how do I turn for this? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous session.
Second?
Commissioner Summer Dumas,
Yes,
Commissioner Dreehouse.
Yes.
thank you. Okay, our next order of business, let's introduce ourselves at the dais.
Christy Rischel, Assistant Clerk.
Leslie Hervey, Clerk to the Board.
County Commissioner Denise Dreehouse.
Jeff Ludo, County Administrator.
Ann Schooley, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney.
Stephanie Summerall Dumas, President of the Board. Next order of business is public comments. Do we have any? No public comments. Okay, very good. We will go on to comments and motions. Commissioner Dreehouse, if you'd like to.
Thank you. I just have a couple things. We are starting the new year. I wanted to say congratulations to all the new people that were elected throughout the county. There are many, many new faces. Run into some of them already, but it's an exciting time in Hamilton County, and so I wanted to congratulate all of them and thank those that ran for elected office. Maybe they won, maybe they didn't, but it's not an easy thing to run for public office, so thanks to everybody that participated in that way and to the voters who turn out to elect all these folks. My only other thing is about Convention Center. The opening yesterday, the ribbon cutting, it was a great event, joint project between the city, the county, 3CDC, the state, to renovate the convention center. Our largest part to play was buying the Millennium site that was adjacent to the convention center and getting the whole project started through that acquisition to allow for that renovation. And now we'll be seeing a headquarter hotel go up to the south, but the property that we have has been transformed into an ice rink, and there's concessions, and there's beautiful landscaping, and I'm really, really proud of the work, and so was excited to participate in that. And then lastly, I've got a new intern, Jada Kramer, who's in the back of the room. So welcome, Jada. Welcome to the county. She's only with us for a month, but I did want to welcome her officially. I know. Yeah, she's on a J term, right, from Miami University.
Okay, great.
So, yeah. Very excited to have her in the office.
Thank you. Commissioner Vice President Reese, we're on comments and motions.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, I hope everybody had a happy holiday season and looking for a wonderful new year. It's going to be a very tough year, and we're just praying and holding on and looking forward to try to help the people as best we can. Just wanted to say that I also attended the ribbon cutting of the grand reopening of the convention center yesterday, and I'm excited to hear about what conventions and events that we're booking to start making money again. I think that's very important. But the other thing I did bring up I think I brought up to them is the facility across that used to have the Millennium Hotel, which is a site that we own as the county. There is ice skating, and that's great and wonderful. There'll be activities. But I did want to bring to the attention of Mr. Ludo that there's a screen up on that property. There's a screen to kind of showcase some things. And on that screen, it has listed partners, and it has the city of Cincinnati, it has 3CDC and everything, but what was missing was Hamilton County. So I asked Mr. Ludo to look into that to make sure Hamilton County name is on it And I think that's very important because that's the actual site that we actually own. So hopefully we can get that corrected. I think that's very important. The other thing is we've got a lot of great things going to be happening this year. I know we've got some tough decisions to make, commissioners, regarding jobs and family services. And I had gotten a call from the CEO, Raquel Howard Smith, at nighttime the other day because it was mentioned, I guess, at a meeting that she was not at, but her staff was, about cuts. And it kind of created she thought we had made a decision. And so it kind of created some panic because she had staff that felt they were learning that they were going to lose their jobs. And I just want to make clear, I know that we have not voted on anything. We have not decided. We know we've got to make a decision, but I wanted to just put that out there. And I think Mr. Ludo, I'd asked him to reach out. I think we have reached out. Maybe he can identify what that is, but we have to also look at how we are dispersing the information. I don't know what that was or what the meeting was. I wasn't privy to it or at it, but I would just hope that no staff is out talking about things that we're cutting and we haven't even voted. I'd like to make sure and I think that's important for us as commissioners, that we have the vote, we have the word, and then it's communicated through the staff. So maybe Mr. Ludo can talk about that in his comments, where we are with that and how are we proceeding. And then lastly, it's very tough out here. Everything is going up except people's checks. And everyone is in the same boat of struggling and trying to survive. And I'm going to continue to, try to work as we work through the different issues, keeping that in mind. Property taxes are now in circulation. People are receiving their property tax bills, and we've been hearing some issues. And so I'm going to continue to try to work toward making it affordable. And as we make these decisions, I know they're very tough, but affordability is important, and we can't put it all on the taxpayers. One of the things they've been seeing is that so far a lot of articles about increasing and making the taxpayers pay extra. And they've asked the question is, what am I getting for the taxes I've already paid? So they're getting hit at the local level, might get hit at the county level, and been getting hit at the state level. And if we can't afford it, we know that grandma can't afford it. So we've got to, I've been hearing from people who are not happy that everything is being taxed on the taxpayer. So I know we got some tough times, some tough decisions as we move forward, but I did want to bring up the YWCA issue and try to get some clarification so that there wouldn't be any miscommunication. So thank you.
Thank you. I just have a few announcements and activities. The first of the year, I went to 2 swearing-in ceremonies. Soraya Lattimore in Springfield Township was selected as a trustee, and Lisa Youngblood was selected as a trustee, which makes that entire board 3 women. And so I'm sure they will do a great job. The one young lady who is currently was on there, she's been on there since 2023. And then I proceeded on that evening to North College Hill Council and to witness Kathy Curitan, who was put on the council. And I believe I told everybody that was an all-woman council, but it's not. There are 7 women and 1 man. And so Brandon Davis, good luck. No, I'm just kidding. So, and then I also attended the Reimagining Convention Center ribbon cutting. It was awesome. You have to go over there and just take a great look at it and see how they have really done such a great job. And I was talking to Scotty Johnson. He was excited because he has a Mega Sci-Fi coming in May, and they have over 7,500 people that are coming for that convention. So looking forward to that. In addition, today I attended the OKI Board of Directors meeting, and it was a pretty short meeting because they were just getting positions in place and nominations for people to be on the board. And so I have a few announcements I'd like to make. The Board of Revision swearing in takes place Monday, January the 12th. I'll be there along with the treasurer and the auditor we will be sworn in first, and then there are approximately 10 or 11 people that will be providing the services of the Board of Revision Board. Looking forward to that. It starts at 10 o'clock, as I said, and all people that are already on that board, please try to make it on Monday, January the 12th. And also a belated happy birthday to Hamilton County, which was January the 2nd. Hamilton County was established in 1790. Makes it about 236 years old. And so I just didn't want to miss that birthday. We have many more coming up. So we've come a long way, that's for sure, and farther to go. The Black History Month celebration, I wanted my colleagues to please write this down. We will be celebrating Black History Month Thursday, February the 5th, and if you could select 2 people that you would like to recognize. We have been recognizing different months, but we've been, for whatever reason, doing it on the 15th or the 29th, and I'd like to have that whole month, if we could, to celebrate Black history. Any questions, you can reach out to my office. If you could have those names to us by January the 22nd, that would be great. And just a couple more things, Paycor Stadium High School sports involvement. As you know, right before the new year came around, there was a high school team that wanted to play down at Paycor, and we did allow that to happen. But we need to look at policies and procedures for that to move forward. It's January, we want to wait to April and say we have some policies for that. So my office, Bishop Hilton, will be heading that up to bring community in, coaches in, young people in to look at, and of course administration, to take a look at the best way to do that. I know they already have flag football down there. I don't know how the procedure was for that to happen, and they've been doing it, but we will talk to the Bengals administration also. And then Carthage Fairgrounds. Remember a couple years ago, I don't know if it's been 2 years, Jeff would know better, but there was an assessment done by a task force to look at Carthage, the Carthage Fairgrounds, and whether or not we could use it for something other than a fair. Now, historically, there's in writing the Ohio Revised Code that Carthage Fairgrounds has to be used for a fair, which is great, through the agricultural, what's the last name? Society, thank you. And there are 30 to 38 acres of land at Carthage Fairgrounds, and I want to open it up again, the discussion about, do they need 38 acres for a fair? And so don't get, if you're from the agricultural society, please don't get upset. But I think we need to look at it again for affordable housing. It's really just sitting there other than the time they have the fair. But we will be spearheading that also out of my office. And then also the last announcement is Visit Cincy is looking for an interim CEO. Julie Calvert will be leaving. I believe her last appearance to say would be January the 21st as she goes through the annual report for Visit Cincinnati. And she may be around, I'm sure. She's so active in this community and this county, and I look forward to her doing great things. So that's all I have for announcements.
Commissioner, I forgot a deceased person. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to acknowledge Roosevelt Barnes. He had served on our Board of Revisions as well in the past, but his father, Harry Barnes Sr., passed away. And those who are from Cincinnati know the Barnes family is a big name, started from the bottom up, and he had a Barnes barbershop in Madisonville, and I believe they may have named a street after him, but this is a big, big loss, particularly to the business, small business community, the Black business community, the community at large. And I just want to send something out to their family because Harry Barnes Sr. mattered in this community, this city, helped so many young people turn their lives around, and just raised really good young men and women in his family. So just wanted to highlight that. That's a major loss for us, and just want to send condolences and prayers out to the Barnes family.
Thank you so much. That was the place to be, that barbershop, if
Yes.
you wanted to know anything about this area. So thank you. We'll go on to Jeff Little, our administrator. Any comments? And also you have some by leaves.
Yes, thank you, commissioners. So just want to wish everyone a happy new year. Looking forward to working with the board this year. We've got a lot of opportunities in front of us on a lot of different projects to advance some critical issues on behalf of county residents, and looking forward to doing all that here in 2026. I do have a couple of by leaves, but do want to just respond quickly. Commissioner Reese had a question about the JFS reductions. We obviously, as the commissioner indicated, we do have some very difficult decisions in front of us as it relates to JFS programming this year in a lot of different ways. I think there was some miscommunication about the timing of some reductions that JFS was proposing. I had spoken with interim director Nelson, and it had indicated, and we both agreed that anything related to an external provider, that those considerations of reductions would be held until the board could fully consider those. I think that's coming up on our staff meeting on the 13th. So we can have that discussion then, and to the degree that, as the board is aware, JFS had submitted a list of proposed potential reductions, tens of millions of dollars. So we need to consider and think through all of those. But to the degree the board has some tweaks, amendments, modifications, we can talk about that in staff meeting on the 13th.
Can we have maybe a policy, because there's a lot going on, moving targets, and the CEOs of these programs should not be, just shouldn't be willy-nilly. Who's going to communicate with these organizations, CEO? Who's that point person? One funnel of communication, because again, like, people are scared about their jobs and stuff like that. And so I just want to make sure, as we're communicating, letting people know in advance, we're looking into this. So I just wanted to, put that on the table.
That's important. Absolutely. And I'll
is.
talk with John about that as well. My understanding is the information that did get out through this process was not a JFS employee. So I think it was just someone else who had heard about this and had mentioned it casually about some potential reductions at JFS. So, but we'll streamline that and make sure that gets tightened up.
Yeah, and maybe sending something to all employees, because like you said, it wasn't JFS, but to all employees. I mean, this is critical. We can't just have employees and just in meetings blurting stuff out. So if you could maybe work on what that policy is for everybody, so that we're all having, one voice and not any type of potential miscommunication, because these are, serious times, and it's difficult. We haven't had to deal with this in a while.
Right. That's a great point, is that this is not something that we've dealt with routinely over the past several years. So, yeah.
And the potential reductions that we talked about were all public. They were publicly presented here, but everybody doesn't watch this meeting.
Correct.
So we
Right.
do need a strategy. So specifically, those directors of those different agencies won't just hear it from.
Absolutely. It's a great point, because I don't think there was any nefarious motives here. I think what was discussed even in that meeting was based upon information that was public.
Sure.
But the point is, I think as the board has made, is that we need to make sure that there's direct person-to-person contact from leadership levels and agencies to providers as well, so that type of miscommunication doesn't happen.
And as was mentioned earlier, this year is going to be very difficult. And so I would just urge all of our agency directors, all of our residents, to just stay connected to us, to the website. Just keep your ear to the ground, because things are happening very quickly. And so this year, I believe, is going to be like no other year as it relates to funding. So we just need to urge our people to continue to listen and keep their heads up. On the by leaves, Jeff, I'm willing, I can do 1 through 3, and then if
Please.
you would like to do
Absolutely.
4. If you were done with your comments.
I was, yes.
So by leave 1 is a resolution. Before I get into 1 through 3, we want to talk about boards and commissions, how important it is that people volunteer and come out and be a part of this process. A lot of our vacancies have been filled, but there's still some that exist, and we need you. We need you to make some decisions as it relates to this county. And so we don't pay for anybody to be on the boards. It's primarily volunteer, other than the Board of Revision gets a little stipend. But I encourage you to continue to stay involved or get involved if you haven't before. By leave 1 is resolution appointing members to the Elderly Service Program Advisory Council, Randy Berlew, Janice Hunter, April Harper. I'd like to make a motion. Well, I'll go through all of them, and I'll make a motion for all 3, if it's okay.
That's fine.
And by leave 2 is resolution reappointing members to the Hamilton County Hospital Commission, Deidre Balloon, hopefully I didn't mess that up, Kathy Crane, Hugh Hines Jr. And by leave 3 is a resolution reappointing members to the Southwestern Ohio Regional Transit Authority, SORTA, Kazava Smith and Sonia Taylor. I'd like to make a motion to pass these resolutions.
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes,
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
thank you. By leave 4, Jeff.
Thank you, Commissioners. By leave number 4 is a transfer and supplemental in various federal and state grants to cover expenses in both the EMA office and the Sheriff's Office. It also includes a supplemental in the Engineer's Office to evaluate the railroad at the East Sharon Road Bridge project out in Sharonville. The total amount of all of those transfers and supplementals is $80,000. Recommend approval.
Thank you so much. Are there any comments, Vice President Reese?
No comments.
No questions. Okay, I make a motion to adopt by leave 4.
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
Great. So we'll move on to our consent agenda items, Jeff.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'll walk through the consent agenda items, which are, I believe, items 1 through 16 on your agenda. Item number 1 is an agreement between the clerk and the United Way, whereby the Clerk's Help Center will be used to support eviction prevention efforts in the city of Cincinnati. This is based upon the dollars that the city of Cincinnati is providing directly for that effort in the amount of $67,500. Item number 2 are sales tax and finance charges incurred through the Veteran Services Commission, $304.20. Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing the award of an invitation to bid with NR Lee Restoration LTD for $199,400. This is for roofing fall protection at the Sheriff Patrol headquarters. Item number 4 is the purchase of 2 Dodge Durangos as replacements in the Sheriff's Office, $68,596. Item number 5 is a resolution accepting purchase orders of the county and authorizing their release in the amount of $1.097 million. Item number 6 is a resolution authorizing the use of credit cards in the Court of Common Pleas, $57,000. Item number 7 is a resolution authorizing the use of credit cards in the Court of Common Pleas Drug Treatment and Recovery Court for $24,000. Item number 8 is a resolution authorizing a grant between the Solid Waste Management District and the City of Norwood for a composting project, $9,072. Item number 9 is a resolution authorizing the use of credit cards in planning and development for $36,000. Items 10 through looks like 14 are also credit cards, resolutions authorizing credit cards in the Sheriff's Office in various different divisions of the Sheriff's Office. For fuel and other purchases, they range in the amount from $14,000 to $120,000 on an annual basis. Item number 15 is the report of no objection to one liquor permit by the Sheriff's Office for a facility in Green Township, Ohio. Item number 16 is the report on the appropriation and use of DTAC funds for 2025. This is to receive for the record through the Treasurer's Office. The board will remember you received a similar report from the Prosecutor's Office, I believe, in our last meeting of 2025. And that is your consent agenda, Commissioners.
Thank you so much. I see how you skipped the in-between, but that's okay.
With the-
With the 11 through the 13, they're all credit card.
Oh, I could read all of them if you like. I'm
No.
happy to.
Tried it, but it'll work this time. So any questions, Commissioner?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay, I have a question, general question. Items 6, 7, 9 through 14, which deals with credit card usage. I would like to specifically know how are the requests made and whether or not the amount that was given is an increase. They were primarily in the sheriff's office, and how do we determine the amount for the credit card usage? Because these are not little, we're talking about $120,000 4 times on credit cards, 3 times, I should say. So can you answer those questions?
Commissioner, I think it'd probably be best that I work with purchasing to get you a full answer on that in terms of how they're requested and whether there are increases, et cetera. I think I'm happy to provide the board with a report on that over the next week, if that's okay.
Okay, that would be okay, because you did come down to my office before the meeting. Said, "You have anything?" And I said, I think I'll ask about these credit cards. So, okay, very good. So I would like to make a motion to adopt items 2 through 16.
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas,
Yes,
Commissioner Reese,
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse.
thank you. Any further business?
Can I ask a question about item 1?
Sure you can, uh-huh.
We didn't pass, you went 2 and we left 1 hanging out?
Okay.
Did we
very
deal with
good.
1? Did I miss it?
We did
No,
not
you
do
didn't miss
no.
it. No. So I would like to include item 1 as we approve the items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas.
Yes,
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse.
thank you. Any additional questions or comments? Commissioner Dries? Okay. I make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas.
Yes,
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse.
Yes.
thank you.